making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
The WNBA is going crazy, and for good reason. Caitlin Clark recently demonstrated why she's a once-in-a-century phenomenon by becoming the first athlete since Michael Jordan to own a signature basketball shoe. Yes, Michael Jordan is the most famous and valuable athlete in the world.
Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
And Caitlin has already attained that level in her WNBA debut season. Her influence extends beyond basketball fans and is upending the entire sports world.
Where he's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
Her talent is on a level that players like Angel Reese can only imagine, but can you really blame them when this good jealousy comes with the territory? When you are simultaneously altering the culture and dominating the game, haters are just a part of the package. Fans and critics alike are observing Caitlin Clark's every move because she is more than simply a player, she is a movement.
Congratulations to her and her family. Yeah, the crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
In case you missed it, Caitlin Clark has completely changed the landscape of women's basketball and, to be honest, the sports business as a whole. Let's be honest, this isn't just about slapping her name on a basketball and calling it a day. This deal screams power, progress, and evidence that women in sports are no longer settling for scraps for decades. Clark has secured a deal with Wilson Sporting Goods, becoming the first athlete since Michael Jordan to have her own signature basketball collection. Women's basketball has been neglected, underfunded, and undervalued, yet Clark has overcome these obstacles as if they never existed. Her agreement with Wilson is a huge gain for all female athletes striving for recognition. Not just for her. Since her college days, Clark has been shattering records and necks on the court. She broke Pete Maravich's NCAA scoring record, which helped Iowa win big games. While everyone else was busy catching up, she was out there creating a legacy. She is simply a game changer, not just a basketball player.
She is the Michael Jordan. I know you're not a major basketball
player. I know.
But she is the Michael Jordan of female basketball.
The comparison to Michael Jordan now at first glance, it might seem unrealistic, but consider this. Just as Michael Jordan made basketball a worldwide phenomenon, Clark is transforming the WNBA and women's sports in general. She has the skills, charisma, and most importantly, the ability to draw in audiences who would not have given women's basketball a second look. Speaking of audiences, let's talk about numbers. Games featuring Clark have seen viewership skyrocket like triple the WNBA average. National broadcasts are now drawing in over 340,000 fans this season, numbers that would make even the NBA blush. In just the first week of the season, the WNBA's digital footprint has skyrocketed. The league's social media channels received 157 million video views, an astounding 380 increase from the previous year. Who's at the center of that buzz? You guessed it, Clark. She's not just playing the game, she's driving the conversation, the clicks, and the engagement.
We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. Two of them being Messi and Ronaldo.
In terms of money, she is a one-woman gold mine. Record-breaking jersey sales at the WNBA's merchandising store. The league's sponsor media value hit $136 million this year, and nearly half of that is directly related to Clark and the Fever. She's turning brand deals into an art form, bringing in high-profile partnerships, and demonstrating that investing in women's sports isn't just the right thing to do but also smart business. Clark's leading pack Fever merchandise alone saw a 1,193% increase. Let me repeat that, over 1,000% growth.
For Caitlin Clark, on a worldwide marketability list for athletes, to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive. I mean, she's ahead of Steph Curry. Steph Curry is behind her on the list.
But hold on, there's more beyond the court. Clark has a $36 million economic impact in Indianapolis alone, from ticket sales to merchandise to the knock-on impacts on nearby companies. She's only getting started, yet she's already boosting the city's economy by herself. Caitlin Clark is the model for how women's basketball should look, feel, and flourish in the modern era. Every female athlete with aspirations of being successful is looking at Clark and thinking, that could be me. Clark's rise isn't just about statistics or records, it's a complete cultural reset. Her impact may be seen in the way she changed, not simply in the numbers. The story: she's not just a basketball player. She's a walking, talking revolution. In 2024, Time magazine gave her the title of Athlete of the Year. Let's take a moment to consider that this title is reserved for people who redefine what's possible, and Clark is doing just that. This recognition isn't just a pat on the back, it's a global spotlight shining on her and, by extension, women's basketball. It's embarrassing that it took this long.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball.
And when Clark showed up at the Time dinner in New York City, it wasn't just another appearance, it was a statement. She's not just a basketball star, she's a cultural icon who rubs elbows with the world's elite. She's proving that athletes can and should have a seat at every table, from boardrooms to red carpets, and every step she takes outside of basketball is a huge step forward for women in sports. Comparing Clark to Tiger Woods isn't even a stretch at this point, it's economy. In the same way, Clark is changing people's perceptions of women's basketball by demonstrating that it's worth spending in marketing and becoming fixated on. There aren't many athletes in history with this kind of attraction, but Clark already has it.
She was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else.
However, with great strength comes drama. Her quick ascent in the WNBA hasn't exactly been easy. Some league veterans aren't thrilled about the attention she's receiving, and you can't blame them. Clark's immediate fame and multi-million-dollar contracts highlight problems that the league has been facing for a long time. She's not creating the conflict, rather, she's exposing it, and the league is finally waking up to pay inequities, lack of recognition, and the fight for respect. The WNBA just begun negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement to raise player wages and paid $50 million to switch to charter aircraft. They know Clark is a once-in-a-generation player, and they're rushing to stay up with the momentum she's created. It's about time, but let's not give them too much credit for responding to what has been clear for years. This isn't charity, it's survival.
They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they got to be drama because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they got to be drama because they're jealous.
The WNBA has been long overdue for growth, and Clark's ability to pack arenas and draw viewers has put that conversation front and center. With more people tuning in and showing up than ever before, the league is being forced to consider bigger expansion isn't just an opportunity but a necessity. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they had to be dramatic because they're jealous. Clark has made it quite evident that there is demand, so why the delay? In addition, let's take a moment to consider her $28 million Nike deal. That's more than just a salary. It's a mic drop that asserts that female athletes are equally, if not more, valuable than their male counterparts. Clark is raising the bar rather than just making money. Brands are finally realizing that wagering on women's sports is a wise business decision and that Clark is the big winner.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists. Okay. To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
The question now is whether the WNBA can keep up as they ride this tsunami of attention. The league cannot afford to lose. They must grow, innovate, and take advantage of the energy Clark has brought in. This isn't just her moment. If they are astute enough to grasp it, it's also theirs. Clark alone put them in the spotlight, but maintaining that momentum is a whole other ball game. Although Caitlin Clark's career is just getting started, the impact she has already made is astounding. She is shattering barriers in addition to records. One thing is certain, Caitlin Clark isn't here to play by anyone's rules, she's here to redefine what's possible and set a new standard for women's basketball. The true problem isn't whether she can keep it up, but rather whether the league and the sport can rise to meet her level. The WNBA is going crazy, and for good reason. Caitlin Clark recently demonstrated why she's a once-in-a-century phenomenon by becoming the first athlete since Michael Jordan to own a signature basketball shoe. Yes, Michael Jordan is the most famous and valuable athlete in the world.